There are some commandments that simply seem so awkward or so foreign to us that it is difficult to understand them unless we see them from a Hebraic perspective. One of those examples are the laws of Niedah. Laws of Niedah. Niedah means separated. This is speaking of the time in which a woman is on her menstrual cycle. Leviticus chapter 15. When a woman has a discharge, and the discharge in her body is blood, she shall be in her menstrual impurity for 7 days. And whoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. And everything on which she lies during her menstrual impurity shall be unclean. Everything also which she sits shall be unclean. And whoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And whoever touches anything which she sits shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. Whether it is the bed or anything which she sits, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. And if any man lies with her, and her menstrual impurity comes upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and every bed on which he lies shall be unclean. Keep in mind that being unclean is not necessarily a sin. Becoming unclean happens. But knowing when you are unclean is important, because it dictated when one was permitted to enter into the temple. Since there is no physical temple today, this matter is much less of an issue as to whether or not you are unclean. However, there are direct commandments as to things that are forbidden during this time. Leviticus 18. You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness while she is in her menstrual uncleanness. Uncovering her nakedness is a Hebraic way of saying intercourse. Leviticus chapter 20. If a man lies with a woman during her menstrual period and uncovers her nakedness, he has made naked her fountain, and she has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Both of them shall be cut off from among their people. Husband and wife are to remain separate from each other in this way. This is what is meant in Leviticus 15, verse 19, in the sense of not touching your wife during her menstrual cycle. The Hebrew word for touching can carry the meaning of literally just touching all the way to intimate relations. We can see from Leviticus 18:19 and 20:18 that the intent is surrounding intimate relations. The means to becoming unclean during this time is a matter of being exposed to blood. Not to be gross, but during a woman's cycle, especially during ancient times, a bed or chair could easily become exposed to blood given the way it was managed. And of course, intimate relations would be most certainly exposing the husband to blood. We can also see that bathing, which is a mikvah or baptism, and the washing of clothes is a means to becoming clean after becoming unclean in this way. Thus, it all fits and seems to make some sense. The reason that this topic is debated is because some Jewish traditions go to extremes to avoid becoming unclean, even building a separate house for his wife for her to reside in during this time. Not that this is necessarily wrong, but it is certainly not necessary. It is going overboard. In addition, those who do not understand the Torah assume that Jews do observe the Torah as Yahweh intended. Thus, it can cause confusion.